Happy Sunday. All right, so I figured out how to get the information off the screen. It took a minute. I had to look at both cameras and try and figure them out. They're not the same. I changed the f-stop and I changed the ISO settings on the cameras. If you don't know what those are, Google them. I did, just to make sure. So the f-stop is the field, the depth of field. So to see like what's close and far away, blurry. So if it's just focused on me or if the background's blurry is your f-stop, field of view. And then the ISO is the amount of light. That camera, which is oddly enough on a manual setting, is set at 100. Okay, makes sense to me. This camera, which is set at auto, is set at 1000. So I tried to set this one at 100 as well, and it was just completely black. But now it might be too bright. So I adjusted some lights today a little bit to try and even it out. I noticed there was some shadows. And now I'm looking and seeing like the camera that I look at and the screen I look at down here, it looks great. There's no shadows. I look like the right color and everything seems right. But looking on the actual YouTube screen, I look, I don't know, a little green, which I don't understand why it would be that. Unless the light did it something. So now I have to go back and see if I can adjust whatever I have to adjust and try and maybe tone this one down a little bit to make it so it's not as bright. Because again, when I'm looking at the camera, it looks great. When I'm looking at the YouTube, it looks washed out and terrible. I don't know. Again, I'm just, going with the seat of my pants. If you saw there was a new opening screen, I played with the AI a little bit today. Just for a few minutes. It kept on making mistakes, and I got mad at it because I was like, you're stupid, and you don't know what you're doing. But you're great. I'm like, shut up. I'm not great. Stupid AI. See, right there. AI. Stupid. See? Stupid AI. It's not Iowa. It's not IA. AI. There you go. All right, stay there. Happy Randsanity. Welcome to episode 169. So that means that there's only 30 left before 200. Tomorrow would be the eve of 30. Now, if I could sell the building in that same time frame, I would be more than happy. I got kind of slightly blown off by the person who potentially is going to buy it. Oh yeah, God, no big rush. I'm like, there's a big rush. I want to get out of this. Please make it go away. So I don't know. We'll see. I haven't been down to the building for a couple of days now because I just can't. But I do have to go down and deal with all the crap. So that's coming soon. Again, I'm going to have to go down and come back with an attitude because now I actually have to sort everything. I'm going to have to go buy some bins from Lowe's. I'm going to have to literally sort the keep, the sell, the donate / trash. Because I can't keep everything. So things that had some intrinsic value to me, I'm going to have to recondit this shit and be like, does it bring me joy? Because yes, well, in fact, I did find the Easter egg that I received when I saw the U2 concert in Los Angeles before they went on tour. It's an Easter egg. It has U2 on it and the date, but not anything other than that. So, okay, I mean, what value does it have to me besides it's a chocolate egg that's been wrapped up now for, I don't know, a decade. It's probably still good, enough preservatives to keep it healthy forever. I don't know. You tell me. Cesar Riviera, hola! Hello, Cesar Riviera, hola. How are you? Hola to you too, sir. Welcome aboard if this is your first time. I'm just talking about my crappy life, but I'm going to get to trivia and all sorts of musical history in a moment. Where are you coming from, Mr. Cesar Riviera? Because all I see is that. I don't have the bio of you. Somewhere exciting, I hope. That would be wonderful. Exciting is good. So yes. So I have some stuff. I did my normal research. I found lots of stuff that happened in music history today. Some births, some deaths. A little bit of stuff on the entertainment world. Because frankly, my darling, I don't give a damn. Clark Gable. Or frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Clark Gable. Today was his birthday, I believe. He's long dead, but still, Gone with the Wind, Clark Gable. Anyway, all right, so we're going to start with 1957, the BBC's first pop music show, the 6-5 special. If it was the 6-7, I would be like, bro, really? You know, all the kids, the 6-7, that would be funny. But it's not. It was the 6-5. I was going to lie and say the 6-7, but no. I watched that South Park the other night, and I was like, okay. I guess I don't get it. I'm too old and Gen whatever I am to totally understand that. So at 6-7, it's not it. It's the 6-5. The 6-5 special is broadcast from Tiny Two Eyes Coffee Bar in London. It's actually near Soho. The coffee bar became a magnet for pop singers, agents, and music entrepreneurs. It opened in 1956 and closed in 1970. And it's actually where Cliff Richards was discovered. In 2000 something, a little green plaque was put outside and sort of was the home of rock and roll in London, near Soho. I guess it held about 20 people. A couple of musicians have referenced it, including Ringo Starr, and there was somebody else that sang a song about the two eyes. I didn't know who it was, so I didn't write it down because I didn't care. But, it seems like it was one of these little hole-in-the-wall places like here when we had the down underneath near 11th Avenue or 13th Avenue. Now I forget the name of it. Crap. The bagel place. Bernie's Bagels. Kind of one of those places where, artists were sort of born and found there. Similar? I don't know. I wasn't at Two Eyes. I was only at Bernie Bagels. 1965, Epcot is launched in Disney. You know it's an acronym, right? Epcot. It's just not, a word. It's like scuba, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Epcot is experimental prototype community of tomorrow. That's what Epcot stands for. So it's actually an acronym for something, not just some word that randomly got made. 2005, see we jumped from 57 to 65 and now to 2005. CBS TV broadcast I Walk the Line, A Night for Johnny Cash. The featured concert performers were Sheryl Crow, Alison Krauss, U2, the Foo Fighters, and a bunch of other stars that I didn't really care about because they were country stars like Dwight Yoakam and something else. I'm like, don't care. I'm not a fan of their music, and I don't really want to write it down, so I didn't. Greetings and salutations, Todd. How are you this evening? I'm paying attention. Camera is not going off, and I did turn the heater off, so there'll be no mess-ups tonight. I'm working it all out, except for the color. If the color is off tonight, because I changed some lights, and I tried to adjust the camera settings, but I may have screwed them up. 2023, the revival of Spamalot, based on Monty Python's and the Holy Grail, the movie on the Holy Grail, opens at the St. James Theater in New York City. It originally went from 2005 to 2009 with 1,575 performances. It grossed $168 million, and it recouped its earnings in the first 6 months. I actually saw Spamalot on Broadway with David Hyde Pierce and Frank Azzara. It was hilarious. I actually have a can of Spamalot that sits in my office. Well, it sits on the floor now in what was my office. I might bring that home. That'll be something I should keep. But I remember that. I took my friend Al. My friend Al, I've known for a very long time. He'll probably never see this, so it's okay. It's merely a flesh wound, right? It's merely a flesh wound. Al will never watch this, so I don't care. Al is a great guy, but he's kind of a schlub. If you know what I mean, a schlub. And I kind of forced him to go, like, let's go, get him out of the house from, drinking beer and smoking pot. And he went to New York City with me, and we had a blast. It was just so fun, just to go see that and to take him with me. made it even more fun because he's kind of uncultured in that respect. So I think that was probably the first and only Broadway play he's ever been to his entire life. I mean, I'm not sure. I know it's the only play he's ever been to in his entire life, especially on Broadway. It's just not his thing. But anyway, Spamalot. So they revived it. That's a good thing. 1966, the greatest seat now from 2023 to 1966, because where I get the stuff from is all over the place. So I'm just all over the place. It's chaos. And again, I don't want to spend the time to put it in chronological order because that would add more time and I just don't want to do it. I'm not getting paid to do this yet, people. Yet, I said. I'm working on sponsorship deals. I'm working on a team. I'm working on making this worldwide so I can have thousands and thousands of followers like Cesar Riviera. Caesar's new. I've never seen Caesar write something here before. Hope he's enjoying it. Glad you're here, Caesar. Greatest Hits album by The Temptations is released. Billboard's album of the year for 1967. I was listening to it a little bit. It's good. I mean, it is The Temptations, but yeah, I could see why it's the album of the year. It's a good album. I definitely was digging it. Something to throw on and listen to a little bit. 1972, Elektra Records releases No Secrets, the third album by Carly Simon. This album becomes her critically acclaimed success album and her commercial breakthrough, with 5 weeks at the top of the charts in the US as well as in the UK. She also spawned her 2 hit singles out of it. One that I know too well, You're So Vain, and The Right Thing to Do. Yes, we've discussed that. I am in fact vain. It's okay. You can be vain. You know, my hair is really long, but I think it looks great today because I took a shower and I just kind of was out in the wind and just that windswept look. So of that, it looked like Carol Brady with like a crazy bob. I don't know which yet. I'm not sure. Mexico, cheers! Hola, that's awesome. Well, how did you find this? However you found it, keep coming back. That's brilliant. Love it. Love it. You probably thought the song was about you. Exactly. I did think the song was about me. Duh. 1973, Apple Records releases John Lennon's 4th album, Mind Games, in the UK. Playing those mind games. That's actually, I really like that song. That's one of those songs where I'm like, yeah, that's a great song to listen to. It's kind of mellow. It's got good lyrics. It's just like the way the tune flows. In 1973, David Bowie performs on TV's Midnight Special. Its set includes a duet with Marianne Faithfull, and it's a cover of Sonny and Cher's I Got You, Babe. Now, what's so funny is Marianne Faithfull, when I went out to dinner tonight, and the discussion came up about Marianne Faithfull. How weird is that? It's sort of, I guess it's if you're looking for a yellow VW bug, you see one because your brain is kind of attuned to it. But just, it was because someone was named Marianne, and we said, they said, is your name because of Marianne Faithfull? And then I saw this thing about Marianne Faithfull, and I was like, huh. So I wonder if I can translate the Marianne Faithfull into numbers and play the lottery tomorrow, because that's what's going to hit, because it's Marianne Faithfull. I'm sure as hell going to try. Don't you worry. 1974, ABBA departs Sweden. Sweden, yeah, for the very first time to head out on the European tour. It's actually the first time they were ever outside of their home country. How fun is that? We're going to go tour the world. ABBA. 1999, The Chronic. 2001, the second album of Dr. Dre is released. I listened to a little bit of that. It's okay. It's all right. You know, Dr. Dre is not a horrible person. Let's jump back in time to 1960. And Patsy Cline recorded I Fall to Pieces, which the following year became Cline's first #1 hit in the country charts, and her second hit single to cross over into the pop charts. It was the first of a string of songs that would be written by Hank Cochran and Harlan Howard. The song ranked #7 on CMT's television special of the 100 Greatest Songs in Country Music. Now, I like Patsy Cline. I mean, Patsy Cline, when it comes to country, again, it's sort of, I guess, the old country music. I guess it had more soul. I don't know. But if that's like a country song, I guess it is, but I don't mind it. It's, I guess, the new country that I'm not a fan of, if that makes sense. Sorry, I know. Sells a lot of records, blah, blah, blah. But that's just not me, man. Just not my thing. In 1962, the Beatles recorded their second appearance on Radio Luxembourg for the program The Friday Spectacular. The Beatles were interviewed, and then they played in front of a live audience both sides of their latest single, Love Me Do, and P.S. I Love You. So that was side A was Love Me Do, and side B was P.S. I Love You. A lot of love on that little 45, I'm betting. In 1963, brother and sister act Nino Tempo and April Stevens were #1 at the U.S. chart with Deep Purple. Not the band Deep Purple, but the song Deep Purple. The song won that year's Grammy Award for Best Rock and Roll Record. Now, I did not listen to it because I ran out of time, but I do want to go back and listen to it because I want to know what... if it's the brother and sister act Nino Tempo and April Stevens, what's the real name? Because that's not the same name. So are they brother and sister? Do they change their names? What's going on here? That just seems confusing to me. I don't like to be confused. It's easy enough to do it myself. The Jimi Hendrix Experience went on to #1 on the U.S. album chart with their third and final studio album, Electric Ladyland, in 1968. The double album included Crosstown Traffic, Voodoo Child, and a version of Bob Dylan's All Along the Watchtower. Hendrix expressed displeasure and embarrassment with this Naked Lady cover, which was banned by several record dealers as pornographic, while others sold it with the gatefold cover turned inside out. Remember, we talked about the price they paid, $10 for the models and $10 more if they would do it completely nude, and as well as the couple of shop owners that got in trouble for displaying it in England and was told by the police, like, we're going to fine you, arrest you, and everything else for showing this. So Jimmy was embarrassed. All right. Also in 1968, Led Zeppelin played their first ever show in the north of England when they appeared at the Manchester College of Science. Zeppelin was paid $299 for the gig. Okay. I mean, better than nothing, right? A couple $100. I mean, how many people in the band? 4, so that's not about $100. And well, you know, maybe it's not so great after all. In 1971, Frank Zappa appeared on this week's UK TV music show, The Old Grey Whistle Test. What the hell, man? They've got some of the weirdest TV music show names. The Old Grey Whistle Test? What the hell is that? I mean, okay. Playing live and showing clips from his 2000 Motels film. I still haven't watched that. I still have a 200 Motels film. I still have to go find that. I've got to find that on YouTube to watch it. I've seen references for it a few times now, and it's supposed to be weird. I can only imagine if it's weird, it's weird. It's Frank Zappa. What do you expect? Okay. John Lennon was #1 in the U.S. singles chart with Whatever Gets You Through the Night. Elton John played on the session and made a deal with Lennon that if the song reached #1, Lennon would have to appear on stage live with Elton John. Lennon kept his side of the deal and appeared live with Elton John. They played 3 songs together. I Saw Her Standing There, Lucy in the Sky with the Diamonds, and Whatever Gets You Through the Night. Backstage after the concert, Lennon got back with Yoko Ono after a temporary split. This was 1974, so the Beatles had already broken up, but it was too late. Too late for the Beatles. Yoko already did her damage. She came back, obviously. 1976, Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys gave his first formal interview for 8 years on the UK BBC TV show Old Grey Whistle Test. What the hell? Okay, Now, I have never mentioned Old Grey Whistle Test in 169 episodes before, and then tonight twice. I'm just like, what the hell? Old Grey Whistle Test. I don't. If you know what the meaning is, please tell me, because I have no clue what that means. 1985, former Undertone singer Fergal Sharkey, love this name, Feargal, Feargal, Feargal Sharkey, like Sharkey, Feargal Sharkey, or is that like, are you afraid of the sharks, gal? Feargal Sharkey had his only UK #1 single with a Maria McKee song, A Good Heart, written about her relationship with Tom Petty on the Heartbreakers. Sharkey followed up the single with Tench, not Trench, Tench, Tench, written You Little Thief, this time about Tench's relationship with McKee. Seems confusing and incestuous and unnecessary that I even put that in there. But the whole Fear Gal Sharkey thing made me chuckle. Because I was like, is that a dude or a gal? So the guy's name is Fear Gal Sharkey. Whatever. I don't know. 1985, U2 launched their own record label, Mother Records. The intent was to unearth fresh musical talent in Ireland, and the label released several one-off single releases from the Hothouse Flowers, In Tuanua, and Cactus World News, amongst others. Hothouse Flowers, yeah, love them. We visited the station before. In 1985, Starship started a 2-week run at #1 on the singles chart in the US with We Built This City. It made it to number 12 in the UK. Now, this Starship, you were talking about Jefferson Starship, which is also Jefferson Airplane. They just kept on changing their names, Grace Slick, over the years. So, same thing. Now, this is not great. Topper Headon, former Clash drummer, was jailed for 15 months in Maidstone Crown Court, England, for supplying heroin to a man who later died. I mean, okay, you're not doing the band thing, but supplying heroin? That seems a little harsh, a little rash. The Clash. Stephen Love. No love for Mr. Stephen Love. The former Beach Boys manager was sentenced to 5 years probation for embezzling almost $1 million from the group's accounts. We talked about that before, and I believe we're going to get to another embezzlement thing momentarily. The Beatles anthology went to #1 on the UK album chart in 1996. The album included rarities and alternative tracks from the final 2 years of the band's career, ranging from the initial sessions for the Beatles, who were also known as the White Album, to the last session for the Let It Be in Abbey Road in later '69 and early '70. Elton John told London High Court that his former lover and manager John Reid betrayed him over touring costs. This is what I talked about, the whole love thing. The singer said Reid had been caught with his hands in the till. Elton was suing Andrew Hayden, former managing director of John Reid Enterprises, his management company, alleging Hayden was negligent in allowing J-Rel, which is the J-Rel management company, to charge him several million in overseas tour expenses. These artists, man, they just, police, 150 bank accounts for Sting. I don't know, can't keep an eye on your money that way. Just saying. Now, this is definitely a case of I got too much damn money. In 2002, multi-billionaire Texan David Bonderman hired the Rolling Stones to play his 60th birthday party held at the Hard Rock Hotel in Las Vegas. How much does a band cost for a one-off, you want to know? Because that's where it gets expensive. Okay, when you have to do a one-off, when you do concerts and stuff with one-offs. Multi-billionaire David Bonderman. Rolling Stones 60th birthday party, Hard Rock Vegas. Take a guess. $5.4 million. That's it. And that goes right in their pockets because there's hardly any expenses. Fly over, grab a hotel room, jump on stage, play some songs. Happy birthday, David. Love you, mate. Peace out. Fly back to London with a cool $5 million in your pocket. Yep. That's the way it works if you're the multi-billionaire. Yishka. 2006, Queen's greatest hit album was declared the best-selling UK album of all time by the official UK charts company. The chart, which was made up of sales figures from the last 50 years, showed their greatest hits compilation had sold 5,400,587 copies. The Beatles occupied second place with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Okay, best-selling album of all time by the UK official in 2006. Did someone beat him? I don't know. I didn't Google. I was going to go look at, world records, but it's still bad. 5 million albums. That's not horrible right there. The greatest hits album, one album. But I'm thinking there was more. We've seen more. I'm just saying. 2010, the Beatles' back catalog was finally made available on iTunes. After years of negotiations, for the first time, consumers were now able to purchase some of the Fab Four's most popular songs via the store. Apple and record label EMI had been in talks for years about getting the catalog online. Apple chief executive and Beatles fan Steve Jobs said it had been a long and winding road to get there. We love the Beatles and are honored and thrilled to welcome them to iTunes. Now, I'm wondering, does Michael Jackson get some cut of that? Because he bought a lot of the rights of those. Someone has to do it, right? In 2014, and I remember this one, singer Bono was involved in what doctors called a high-energy bicycle accident. The singer was rushed to New York's Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center's emergency department and underwent 5 hours of surgery. The injury forced the groups to postpone a planned week-long residency on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Now, if I remember correctly, he basically was riding a electric bike, wrecked, broke his arm, his shoulder, fractured his orbital around his eye, and he just, generally screwed himself up bad enough that, 5 hours of surgery. That's a good amount of bike crash right there. I've crashed some bikes and never needed surgery, and I crashed pretty hard. I did the whole pushed the front brake once on the 10-speed and did an endo, which entailed breaking my hand because my hand got caught underneath it and, basically face planting onto the concrete without a helmet on because, we were kids. We didn't wear helmets. That wasn't required by law when I was growing up. Feral children. It may have knocked the crap out of me, but I don't think it killed me. Or required 5 hours of surgery. That's just me. I didn't require 5 hours of surgery. All right, I'm going to switch cameras for 1 second because I'm going to go ahead and touch this one because it's going to run out of time and I don't want it to. Now, the color on this one seems like, oh, I didn't change it properly, did I? Damn it. I did for a second. So the color on this one doesn't look any better. So I don't know if it's that it's too washed out from the light changing or what's going on, because it looks the same on the YouTube, but it looks great on my monitor. I'm not sure what the problem is here. I did something wrong. Just something. I don't know. We'll see. Old Grey Whistle test. According to presenter Bob Harris, it's derived from the name of a Tin Pan Alley phrase from years before when they got the first pressing of a record. They would play it to people they called the Old Greys, doormen in gray suits. Any song the doorman could remember and whistle, having heard just once or twice, passed the Old Grey Whistle test. Okay, all right. I understand it now, but I guess it has to, if it's not a catchy tune. And another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, gonna get that. that's, I guess you'd have to be catchy, interesting. I don't know. That seems like that would be pretty damn hard. Um, you'd have to have a pretty damn good song for someone to hear it one time and remember it to whistle it. Jeez. I, there's songs I've listened to a ton of times I probably couldn't whistle. All right, well, finally on this date, on the 16th of November in 2023, American singer Cassandra Venture filed an explosive federal lawsuit against her former partner, Sean Diddy Combs, claiming he had physically and sexually abused her throughout the relationship. The complaint alleged that Combs' abuse ranged from beating Ventura and forcing her to have sex with other men to raping her at her home in 2018. The rapper settled the lawsuit within a day. Okay. And on that note, we're going to move to births and deaths because, yeah, there you go. Born on this day, Harry Rushikoff, the drummer of Concrete Blonde. We've met Harry before. Josh Silver from Typo Negative, keyboardist from Typo Negative. Manny Gary Moorfield, the bassist from the Stone Roses. I was listening to Stone Roses a little bit earlier today. Chris Leiner, keyboardist from Rammstein. If you want to hear some good German music, throw on Rammstein. It's always just crazy good German music. Eric Judy, bassist for Modest Mouse. We've had Eric at the radio station. Burgess Meredith, the actor who was Rocky's corner guy, who's also in Twilight Zone when he couldn't read. And what else? What else was Rocky in? I'm trying to think. I forgot something. My brain just fried. Anyway, he was the Penguin. He was the Penguin in Batman, the original. He was the original Penguin in the Batman series. That was Burgess Meredith. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. Who knew? Boring, but that's your answer. No, it's not boring. It's now I know. I like my brain wrinkled. I will remember the old gray whistle test. But Burgess Meredith, Cleveland, Ohio. Good old Ohio guy. Lisa Bonet, born on this day. We all know Lisa Bonet. Maggie Gyllenhaal from Donnie Darko. I also think she was in some kinky movie with, what's his name? She was also in The Dark Knight. And Pete Davidson, Saturday Night Live, and now he's hawking Alexa or something. I keep saying, should I be Pete? Peter? And Alexa's like, shut up, dude. What, you want to be PP? I was like, yeah, there you go. That sounds right. You want to be PP. Died on this day, Clark Gable from Gone with the Wind. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. There it is. And Robert Clary. Robert Clary died at the age of 96 years old. Robert Clary was Corporal LeBeau on Hogan's Heroes. He actually was a Holocaust survivor. He was an author. He was a singer. He was a writer and an actor. Who knew? There was a little French guy, LeBeau, on Hogan's Heroes. Oh, and, if you ever want to really read some crazy, crazy crap, go read about Hogan. We'll get to, one of these days it'll pop up, I'm sure. There'll be something, it'll be his birthday or something, and I'll have to dive into it. But yeah, that guy was making kinky porn before kinky porn existed. So, I mean, it existed, but yeah, he was the man. Not Robert Clary. I mean, LeBeau sounds like he was a stand-up guy, but Hogan, not so much. We'll get to him one of these days. All right. So that was your Randsanity for this 16th of November, 2025, episode 169. We had our furthest away autofocus. Great movie. Yes, autofocus was definitely a very, very good movie. So yes, I figured we'd get to that at some point. Indeed so. Indeed so. So yes, we're going to be down to 30 tomorrow, 30 till we hit episode 200. So I'm working now trying to get this thing to move forward. I'm going to think the goal at this point is to do a formidable relaunch at episode 201. I'll do all 200 episodes, and then I'm going to try and actually relaunch this with support. I'm going to push it out because then with 200 on my belt, hopefully I've got a formula down and it doesn't suck. So if you have comments about good or bad, please tell me. I definitely want to know from Caesar, who's from Mexico, because that's awesome. So Caesar, tell people, come join us. I need to build my numbers up. But yes, so I think there's going to be a relaunch at episode 201, which would be the 18th of December. Or maybe I'll launch it on the 200th episode. I don't know. But somewhere around there, I'm going to do a relaunch, I believe. And I don't know. We'll see what changes. I've got some people who are helping me critique this a little bit so they can kind of hone this a little bit. And I promise you, by then, I will have the Randsanity shop up and running, and you can get this great Randsanity shirt and other crazy things that I've thought about over the years and just never put together. Promise. And maybe I'll have some funny videos on the side. I think my hard drives got stolen. I'm really, really not happy about this. When I was down at the station, rummaging through the remnants of my 35-year career in the piles of crap that are now strewn about the building like so many seashells on the ocean after a storm, I think all the hard drives that I had all my shit on are gone. I think that was stolen by the rats that broke in and took everything, which would suck beyond belief. Because as far as personal items go, that was one of them. There's a lot of personal memories on there that I would not be able to recreate because, you know, some people aren't with us anymore, and I will never get those things back. So that sucks if they're gone. And I think they are, because I did not see them, and I was looking through the boxes of stuff that I may have preserved. And the Randsanity should have the ability to buy a Randsanity broadcast from your home. We could. You never know. I mean, there's a lot of space right over there, you know, on the other side of my... There's actually more room on that side than there is on this side. If you would look over there, there's all sorts of room. So yeah, there's more room over there, so you could easily be a guest interviewee here in my palatial basement space. Anyway, that's what's going on. That's where we're at. So yes, keep going back. I'm trying to get better and better. I'm trying to narrow this down and focus it in and hone in my skill set here to see if I can actually make a go of this and make some money doing this so I can continue to do this from faraway places, because I really want to go to Madrid, Spain to go see that show now. Yeah. Because if I could plan for that, I would plan for interviews now. I'd get in touch with the record people that I still have contact with that still may have jobs and see if I can work out something through management companies and do that, which would be wonderful. You never know. But until then, I'll be here in my basement broadcasting nightly for your viewing and trivial pleasure. Not that you're trivial, but hopefully it's giving you some information that you didn't know before. All right. I'm going to go watch the third episode from Pluribus. I believe it comes out on Friday, so I could watch that. Started watching another series last night, but I fell asleep on the couch, so I don't remember what I started watching. I know, it's pathetic. I'm like an old man falling asleep like... But I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and like 1 o'clock in the morning I get tired. You know, I only get 6 hours of sleep, so it happens. Anyway, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday night and a stupendous, stupendous Monday, even though it's Monday and we all have to work. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night for episode 170. I'll try and have a new header up, and I'll try and do something to change and have forward momentum. And if not, well, you know, screw it. I tried my best. That's all I can do. All right, be well. Thank you. Appreciate you all. Especially you, Caesar. Welcome from Mexico. Have a great evening. Thank you again. Be well. Fade to black. Take care. Hasta mañana. Change things up tonight. Fade to periwinkle or chartreuse. Oh, it's too late. I can't change to chartreuse. I'm going to change to plaid is what I'm going to do.